Hello and welcome everyone to the week ahead commodity report, where we of course will be reviewing the markets for the week ahead. Historically, the final quarter of the year from October through to December, that has always been considered one of the most lucrative periods of the year for commodity traders. And once again, that trend is certainly living up to expectations. As we transition through the final quarter, we are firmly now in the midst of one of the greatest eras of wealth creation the world has seen, packed with a series of extraordinary money-making opportunities, from the escalating global inflation crisis to monetary policy crisis to the currency crisis to the energy crisis, all topped off with the US midterm elections. And just in case that wasn't enough, things could be about to get even more exciting, with more talks of central bank monetary policy U-turns and the start of a new oil war between Saudi Arabia and the United States. This explosive cocktail of events between now and the end of the year is guaranteed to be a license to print money, which traders will not want to miss out on. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citigroup, they've already prepared their clients for what they predict could be one of the most profitable quarters ever seen. In recent weeks, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, Bank of America, they have joined the list advising their clients to sell equities and rotate into commodities, ready for a massive Christmas bonus. Interestingly, Bank of America, they were the biggest buyer of commodities this month, adding a net 6.3 billion during the first week of October. That's the third largest inflow into commodities ever recorded in a single week since the 2008 financial crisis. Bank of America, they told their clients that commodities, they are now close to the bottom of their cycles and on the verge of a spectacular end-of-year rally. If you've been kicking yourself for missing out on some of the biggest wealth creation opportunities so far this year, and you still want to make 2022 and beyond your best year yet, then you've just been granted the ultimate gift. Right now we have crisis on top of crisis, which, as traders know, that translates to opportunity on top of opportunity. This is the time that traders wait decades for. It's times like these that make millionaires and billionaires out of regular people. There's a lot of traders out there, they completely missed out on two of the previous greatest wealth transfers in history, including the global financial crisis in 2008 and more recently the pandemic in 2020. The ones that saw the opportunity and knew how to capitalize, they accumulated life-changing wealth. According to the World Wealth Report, 6.2 million ordinary people, they became millionaires for the first time during the 2020 pandemic, which is more than any other time in history. I'm sure a lot of you know a friend, a colleague, or even a family member who made an absolute fortune. But history is about to be rewritten. Once again, we find ourselves at the forefront of one of the biggest wealth creation opportunities of all time. This explosive cocktail of events that is currently unfolding now presents the third greatest wealth transfer of our lifetime. You don't want to be one of the people that knew about this, had a chance to capitalize on one of the greatest wealth transfers ever, and missed out again. In the words of Warren Buffett, the actions you make today, they will determine your financial future for years to come. Now is the time to turn crisis into opportunity. According to Bloomberg, 1 in 2 people have now turned trading as a way to combat inflation, whilst also capitalizing on one of the greatest wealth creation opportunities of our lifetimes. More millionaires and billionaires will be made this time round than ever before. The only question is, will you be one of them? Extraordinary times, they do create extraordinary opportunities, and right now these markets, they're a trader's paradise. If you've been kicking yourself for missing out on some of the biggest trading opportunities so far this year, and you still want to make 2022 and beyond your best year yet, then you still have time. Just go to www.jointhegoldensilverclub.com now to learn more about our mentorship program to take your trading to the next level. So with that, let's move over to the charts and we'll talk you through exactly what we're looking at here as we head into a new week. So first of all, gold had a slingshot move higher on Friday. You all know, of course, if you watched our commodity report we put out on Thursday through to Friday, that we were expecting the Bank of Japan to come in and intervene in the market. Last time this happened over the last month, the US dollar index collapsed 200 points in a single session. Yet again on Friday, our expectation followed through. We saw the Bank of Japan later on into the UK session. They came out and intervened in the market. With that, same playbook. US dollar index broke down 200 points and we, of course, set up perfectly for this. We bought into gold, we bought into silver, we bought into platinum, we bought into palladium, and already had exposure to copper. Everything broke out later on in the session on Friday, and we capitalized on this by banking more profit. So of course, with platinum surged to the upside over 2.5% on Friday, we took the opportunity here to scale out with two positions here, banking 1,800 points profit. As we discussed with you previously, the plan here was if we were to get breakouts back towards the swing highs, very simply we would scale out because we bought into so many commodities at lower prices that really it's a win-win scenario. If we break out higher, we then take more profit off the table. If we start seeing pullbacks like we saw on silver and also palladium and also with platinum and also with gold last week, we would then look to redeploy capital. So we've done exactly that. So essentially last week we sniped into gold. That trade is currently up 270 points into the close. Silver we sniped into before we had over a 4% breakout to the upside on Friday. We've also done the same on palladium. That trade is currently up 380 points, and we've also capitalized on this breakout by still having exposure with copper, which broke out 2.5% to the upside on Friday as well. Not only that, alongside the intervention that we saw from the Bank of Japan, again here is the dollar, which tanked on Friday afternoon. We then saw a number of FOMC members give their comments later on in the session, which was essentially dovish and suggesting that the Fed may pivot at the end of this year. And immediately stock markets, commodities, they all took off to the upside. So if you were planning, prepped and ready for this, you absolutely crushed it with the breakouts that we saw on Friday. So I do congratulate you if, like ourselves, you caught these massive breakouts to the upside on the metals later on in the session on Friday. So then moving into next week, what can we realistically expect now to happen next? Well, if you go over to gold first of all, you can see yet again we've come all the way back down, retested the liquidity here that we broke down to at the end of September. This is where the Bank of England, they intervened in the markets, and subsequently we had over a 1,100 point breakout to the upside. So now we have Bank of Japan, they've intervened in the markets on Friday. You've got very similar price structures here, right? If you have a look at even the lows, the price structure, the bear trap that we had, the subsequent reversal into the close here, the magnitude of the move, very similar in terms of these price structures. So I would be looking out for the potential going into next week for follow through here with gold. If of course we can continue to see acceleration lower with the dollar at the start of next week, we could then start to see this impulse move higher. Now we're in a good spot here given that we're already in a lot of profit on gold into Friday's close. So this trade, if we do see further breakouts to the upside, this is where we can look to start scaling out of more profit. Ideally, I would like to see a similar playbook to what happened at the end of September, beginning of October, which would be to get an impulse move to the upside. Essentially on platinum, you've now seen a 2-day impulse move. I would look for follow through as we go into next week. We may or may not get it. We're already taking out profit off the table anyway, but if we do, we're then going to be breaking out to the highest level since August, and that could further see silver and gold, they could propel higher as well with a 3-day impulse move, taking silver back towards that $19.50 to $19.70 per ounce level. Now we've already managed to sniper into silver last week anyway when we had a dip back down towards the 1860 level, which worked out extremely well for us on Friday. Not only did we get this trade correct, but the return on time invested in the trade has been very fast. Within 24 hours we're in significant profit on the trade. That was also relevant to gold and also relevant to palladium as well. Palladium has yet again come back down, had a retest of the swing lows around the 1960 to 1970 level, and then again got a strong bid. You have to know as well, from Wednesday through to Thursday, palladium broke out 1,400 points to the upside. It then retraced that move and then yet again gave another opportunity to get into this market before it again pumped on Friday over a 350 point breakout to the upside, and we could certainly be seeing more of this in the coming days. So I definitely have palladium on the radar as well, which closed around $2,000 per ounce on Friday. So again, the metals, they absolutely exploded later on in the session on Friday, and what I'm looking out for now as we go into next week is whether we can get a follow-through move here. If we don't see a follow-through move, I don't really see that as a problem either, because very simply I'm looking to reaccumulate and add further exposure if we do get a break back down towards the 1600 levels. As you know, that's been the overall plan here for a while. If we were to get a break back down towards these swing lows, that is what we would look for. But yet again, the trades that we've deployed very quickly on Thursday through to Friday have come as a result of our expectation that another central bank would intervene in the market. And next week we have the European Central Bank announcement as well, out. On Thursday, the week after that, of course, we had the Federal Reserve and the Bank of England. And these monetary policy statements and announcements, they're providing huge opportunities to generate windfall amount of profits fast. As we enter a new economic climate, the importance of having an essential income generating skill like trading, that has become a must-have necessity. If you want to actually reach your long-term financial goals in these rapidly changing markets, then you can't just stockpile cash in a savings account, because rapidly surging inflation, that will erode your wealth and purchasing power. Instead, you need to make your money work as hard for you as you've worked hard for it. One of the biggest obstacles that holds back 99% of retail traders from achieving their desired success, it's not having access to the correct professional strategies, institutional level data, and market intelligence to make confident decisions with accuracy in these fast-moving and highly lucrative markets. There is a huge gap between the top 1% of professional traders and the bottom 99% of misguided retail traders who simply rely on outdated technical analysis and gimmicky technical indicators that do not work in these markets. If you want to get yourself out of the bottom 99% and into the top 1% who are actually crushing it and making 6, 7, and 8-figure returns in these markets right now, then you need to utilize a professional, research-driven approach, or you will end up wasting lots of time, money, and effort and have no results to show for all of your hard work. In these fast-moving markets, technical analysis and outdated technical indicators, they will not work. Those days, they're long gone. If that's all you're relying on to get edge, the odds are already stacked up against you. If you want to change your results, there's only one way to do it. You have to change your thinking process and actions. If you want to learn our exclusive research-driven approach that is never taught to retail traders and only reserved for professional traders in banks, hedge funds with access to powerful game-changing insights, including where banks and hedge funds are buying and selling in real time key liquidity zones so you can enter and exit the markets with pinpoint precision, fundamentals, macroeconomics, capital flows, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, and quarterly real-time data-driven cycles and intermarket correlations, just to name a few, then you need to join our mentorship program. As we transition through the final quarter of the year, we are heading into a highly lucrative event-driven period. If you want to successfully capitalize on the huge opportunities ahead and build significant life-changing wealth, then there's no better time than now. If you want to upgrade your income, then you need to upgrade your skills. Never underestimate what you can achieve in the next few months from now with the right guidance and mentorship. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have. Make sure that you don't waste it. If you want to join our community of successful traders and take your trading to the next level, there is an opportunity for you to do so. As a member, you get access to our exclusive live trading room webinars. You get access to real-time trade ideas, access to institutional research and market intelligence, access to our private Members Academy website, and also support and one-to-one mentoring. For more information, just go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. The link is also below this report in the description, so just click on the link, make an application, and we will of course get in touch with you ASAP.